Welcome guys to Link 73. So I'm just gonna get right into it, alright? Punisher, episode 3, review slash reaction. It's so fucking good! Alright, listen, this show just keeps getting fucking more better and better. I fucking love it. But this episode was kind of big. It was a lot of things going on in this episode, so we're gonna break it down. We're gonna try to analyze it. Right. So at the very beginning of the episode, fucking love it. You literally gotta, for like more than half of the episode or half of the episode, you got literally a butt naked Micro the whole time he's being fucking tortured, which is fucking hilarious. But I mean, it's not hilarious. He's being tortured. It's just the dynamic between Frank and Micro is just so fucking good. But you literally have Frank in full control at the real beginning, right? He even has this great line that says that people think that torture is pain. It's not pain. You adjust to pain. You get used to it. The torture is time, knowing that you're going to die, knowing that that there's no escape from it. And that's what the real torture is. And that line is true on so many different levels, used for so many different situations. Not instances that things happen like pain and stuff like that. That's temporary. Time is what eventually gets us all in the end. But then you get into Micro's story. Now Micro's story, I really liked this story, particularly because of the themes that it deals with. So let's go right into the beginning. I mean, at the very beginning you have the conversation of Micro and Sarah, which is his wife. I talk about the differences of right and wrong, and basically how the differences of teaching right and wrong and being hypocritical, or actually living with those same teachings that they teach to their kids. You have a situation where Michael got a hold of the astral disc of Ahmad, Diani's partner, being killed. Okay, and you got the whole into astral scene itself. Now, this is an NSA analyst, kind of similar to like Snowden. In a lot of ways, it ties back to what Snowden kind of did. The same concept. Of course, different situation, but the same overall concept, where you have somebody that has information of crimes that are happening and the situation that it's placed in. In Micro's perspective, he has his kids, he has his wife, and he says, a great line, which I thought was a perfect line. He says, everything that we do is teach them about being good human beings. This is what this comes down. Everything that we teach them about being good human beings, that's what this comes down to. And in a sense, yes. I mean, right and wrong isn't always black and white. It's taking risk and being right, even at the risk of how much crap can happen just by trying to do the right thing. And you saw the very next scene how downhill it went, where basically Micro's death, when basically he was in the car with his kids. They were normal time, just taking them to school, traffic like crazy, common situation that every family goes through. But because of the actions that he took, he was basically being hunted down while that was happening. He realized that he ran out. He didn't want his kids to see that. He told them to stay in the car, which is what any normal parent would do. Of course, Sarah, the wife, chases after him, and basically you see in his hands, both hands up, he explains what's going on. This is wrong. I'm an analyst. I didn't do nothing wrong. And you see Wolf, which another reason why I hate the guy. If you needed any more reasons to hate the damn guy, man, seriously, just another reason to hate the damn guy, just goes and shoots him. And Sarah witnesses that, and then just like 2 or 3 other witnesses there at the same time that watch this. But they spun the narrative, and this is another underlying theme that you're gonna see within this episode, of those that control the narrative to ensure that whatever message they want to get out will get out, versus the truth. And you're going to see the truth and the implications of that truth and how it's being spun to fit the overall narrative that and the image that people want to have about a certain thing. So you have here Michael, who risked everything trying to get this information out, and what happens? He gets killed. Not only that, he also gets his entire life picked apart. His kids are feeling the effects of it. They spun it so basically that he betrayed his country, that he was an espionage, that he betrayed everything. So it's something that you see that he was trying to do the right thing and what came out of it. The theme of basically who controls the narrative and how the truth gets buried. And then you get a nice little scene of Billy and Kurt, how basically, you find out that Billy's the one basically funding the therapy sessions with Kurt. He pays the rent for everything, as a fellow soldier in arms. And that's his part of him trying to do good, besides, what he does with his company itself, which I'm pretty sure they're going to get more deeper into that later on. But you get to see some of that, and you get to see how Kurt kind of almost let it slip in one scene, that he knows that Punisher's alive, Frank's alive. So I just think it's a nice little dynamic, a nice little inclusion to throw in there, kind of to break up the pace of everything. But then you get to two different sections in the actual show itself. So first section I'm going to touch on is kind of like the side story that they have going on, which is with the beginning of Lewis. Now Lewis is one of the soldiers, one of the vets that goes to Curtis's meetings, and he basically talks about how lines are being blurred and how narratives are being controlled. Basically, that he has his reoccurring nightmares, and he starts off by saying that he didn't hate his enemy. He hated the enemy, but he respected them because he knew what was going on. He was a bad guy. They had to shoot. They were going to shoot him back. It was simple. He respected that. He understood what was going on. And that wasn't what his nightmares were about. That wasn't what was keeping him up at night. What was keeping him up at night was what he saw was basically that one of their own helicopters fired down on and basically was friendly fire. But what happened was the actual press themselves, they switched that narrative over, because you can never have friendly fire in war. It just looks bad for the military, it looks bad overall, and it shames the country. So what they did was they switched the narrative over, and they said basically they were ambushed. And what was the ambush itself? And the ambush was basically, an Apache helicopter that fired their own people because they had bad intel or whatever the hell the reason was. But the point is that what Lewis felt was that it dishonored the people that died. It stripped them of all, their pride, their honor that they had, and it's basically just amounted them to a statistic, just casualties. And that's what keeps him up at night. Like he even said it in there, that the nightmare is him seeing the reporter that was reporting on this, but instead of talking about the people that actually died and during that incident, they're talking about him. So he basically, that fear of him being stripped of all honor, like it all meant nothing. And then of course you have the one scene, like literally during that same scene at the end, where the guy that I could tell was made to be hated in these fucking meetings, the chubby guy that basically said, all this feeling bullshit ain't gonna do nothing, and he gives him the pamphlet about, about buying a gun and owning guns and, keeping their rights amendments, all this other bullshit, which you could tell is gonna spark a debate as far as, gun control and all these other things, especially with this scene that happened, the next scene that you see that you see Lewis in, which was him having a PTSD nightmare, and he basically he bought a gun. He has a gun right behind him in his pillow, and he wakes up and he automatically thinks that he's in like some kind of confrontation or some kind of battle, that he immediately grabs his gun and just shoots, almost killing his father. Like it missed by a half an inch, and it missed because of course he was tensed up. He wasn't thinking, he wasn't aiming. He just was on autopilot. He got up, bam, shot, and almost killed his own father, which is fucking crazy. But it's the crazy reality that we live in. Like, you allow people that are not fully stable have a weapon, and accidents will happen, whether it's on purpose or not, whether it's something that's predetermined or something that just happens because of a situation just like that. They think it's an intruder. Or in this case, it was a soldier that was going through PTSD, and automatically he felt that he was in a war zone and reacted. So you're gonna see lots of debates coming up because of this topic. But you guys let me know, what do you guys think in the comment section below. You guys can talk about that, and we got a small little debate, because honestly this is what these kind of series do, and this is why I love The Punisher, because it's not just guns, action, and killing. No, it's about real world events. It's about tying in veterans and their feelings, and how basically when they come back, how little support they have, and how fucked they really can be because of what happens, because of the shit they lived through. You know, it's pretty insane when you really think about it. You know, and it's just something that you draw a person to become a soldier. They have this routine. They live in these bunkers and everything like that, and that doesn't get to somebody. But the fact that when they get taken out of that, that's all the reality they knew for years, and then they were supposed to be integrated into society, and then you have situations like this. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. And a lot of respect to the men and women that are serving, because honestly, they go through hell. They go through hell. No way, no clear cuts about it. They go through hell. But then you get to see some of that hell when you start seeing the past, start seeing, you know, a lot more of Operation Cerberus and everything. But let's tie it back a little bit. Let's go back to basically Frank and Micro, because yes, you see him torturing, for lack of a better word, you see Frank torturing Micro, and he talks about how the thing that drives people insane is not the fact that they know they're being tortured, the pain and everything that they get used to that, but the fact that they have no routine, and you know, that starts messing with the person the most, you know. And I thought it was pretty genius that the whole time that Michael was being tortured, he knew that he kept something to keep him sane, which was that alarm that sounded every day. So he knew exactly what time of the day it was. He knew something to snap him back to reality, to some kind of routine that he would constantly need to be pushed over to that computer screen to put his password and get the eye scan. That was his routine. That's what kept him sane. Because you saw throughout the entire time, even through all the punishment, all the actual torture that Frank was putting him through, Michael wasn't breaking. He wasn't breaking at all. You know, he obviously felt the pain. Obviously, he was probably getting pissed and like just in anger in general, but he wasn't breaking at all because, again, like Frank said, you need a routine, and when you disrupt that routine, that's what drives people insane. But because of the code and everything, that was his routine, and the fact that Michael even says it, a routine allows people to fall into a sense of security. They feel like it's just something that's supposed to happen, so let's just get it done with. Which I thought was fucking beautiful, because the power dynamic throughout the entire episode at the beginning was Frank's in control, but in reality, Michael was the one in control, because he knew and analyzed Frank and the way he would react and what limits he had, which was he would not kill him because he was not a bad person. And he analyzed that and he picked it up perfectly, because you see Frank get used to, okay, let me drag him, put his damn code in, alright, there's no threat. Move back, torture him some more. Okay, next day, put in the damn code once again. And then the fucking beautiful scene that I could, as soon as I saw him put in the code and not let go of the pen, I was thinking to myself, what the fuck is he gonna do? Is he really got crazy? Is he really gonna just stab him or something? But no, he flips the fucking pen upside down. It's not really a pen, it's a fucking syringe. Oh man. Yo, the switch in the power dynamic was like instant. As soon as he just stabbed him, no strength, body just going limp. Frank was out, K'd the fuck out. He was out cold. That's it. It was just not happening. And Michael says, "Yo, I'm sorry, but you kind of forced me to do this. Like, I couldn't talk to you." You basically was saying, like, "Listen, I couldn't convince you, so I'm gonna just fucking stab you." That's it. And he gets KO'd, and then he wakes up, and then I love this scene because it kind of goes to show that, hey, listen, I'm not your enemy. Okay, you're gonna wake up. You're gonna see this gun to your chest, meaning you can shoot me at any damn time. But I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to help you. Don't fucking move. And of course, Frank, first thing he does, he grabs the gun, he's trying to stand up, and he busts his ass. It was just so good. It was just the difference in power dynamic is fucking awesome. Just seeing that, man. It was just so fucking good. And then little by little, he convinced him, and you know, Frank learns to trust him, and then basically he kind of told his story about what happened because Michael kind of brought it out, you know. And then you see Kandahar, you see the hell that they went through, and this is what I was talking about before, where you get to see what kind of hell it was. Orange, which is the guy that basically says, "I point, you shoot." Basically, I run this shit. You're just fucking, you're my pawns. I point at something, you go kill it. He does that, and you see in the flashback that Frank, and I keep feeling bad for Punisher and his storyline, because what was he thinking? He was thinking 29 more days to go. I'm gonna go home and see my kids. I'm gonna go home, have an amazing time with my wife, and she got him Bruce Springsteen's concerts, and you could just say the way he says that I love my wife, you could just tell like that it was real, and that was what was keeping him going. That's it. 29 more days and it's a wrap. And of course, Billy was just trying to smash everything that fucking moves, which is fucking pimp right there. But yeah, but it was just fucking awesome. And then you saw how quickly that momentary moment of peace that switched over when Schoonover came, aka Blasphemous, came and was like, there's a briefing. Orange came and said, listen, you guys are gonna go attack this. This is the plan. This is what you guys are gonna do. But Frank read it like a book. He's like, I know what's going on. This is going to be an ambush. Regardless of whatever fight you have the pawns, in this case Frank and Billy, have to listen to what the chain of command says. And of course, chain of command is being led by somebody who's not even part of the military. And it's just this whole thing of who controls the narrative, who controls what happens and behind the scenes. And you get to see that, again, that same underlying theme. What ended up happening? The only thing they gave a shit about was, did you get the target? Not the hell they've been through. And when you see that hell, you see all his brother-in-arms lying dead, if not dying. And Frank basically he goes fucking crazy. Like, this is the moment where the Punisher was really born. Not when his wife and kids died. This is the moment that his wife was really born, where he was pushed to a point that he needed to survive, and just gave in to that instinct of just fucking murdering everybody. And it was a fucking beautiful scene. When you look at this shit, this is the type of episode that goes down as one of the best episodes in the fucking series for a fucking reason. The action sequences in here were fucking so good. You just see him like literally destroy people just trying to clear a line because he's trying to save people. And one of the things that really pissed me off about this one scene is that you see how much he actually gave a damn about Schoonover, aka Blacksmith. You get to see how much he was really trying hard to save him, and he said, listen, don't die out, do not bleed out on me, I'm gonna get you home. It was just it just goes to show, like, how much he trusted this man, how much it was his brother in arms. And then all the stuff that happened in Daredevil, fuck, man, that was fucking crazy, man. I don't know about you guys, but that shit was fucking nuts. But I gotta say, that fucking action scene where he was basically shooting, and the way they had the music, fuck, man, and the lyrics of the fucking song, oh my god, it was country, I was a soldier for you, did what you asked me to do, though you knew it was wrong, now I'm just a stranger to you. Holy shit, man. If you ever heard some powerful fucking lyrics that fit perfectly in this type of fucking show, those are it. Alright, Frank knew what was going on, that was wrong. He risked his life, he gave his all, even though the things they were doing were wrong. He knew it was wrong. Like, he even told his one comrade, who was basically saying that, listen, they don't pay me, they don't really give a fuck what we think about right now. This is not what we're here for. Over here, no one cares what we think. We have to do. It's just so fucking good. You see every little bit of it. And of course, everything that you're seeing that was on Kennel Heart was all a lie. I mean, once Frank finishes talking about what actually ended up happening over there, you see that Micro, which I thought was fucking hilarious, makes him sit in like a chair, pushes him like a freaking baby over the computer, but just to show him that Operation Service was never sanctioned, blacklisted, never any records of it. So they basically turned him into a hitman. So that one moral code of him not killing the good guy, they made him break it without him even knowing it. So guess what? They're all gonna fucking die. And I love that one scene because at the end they basically said, like, I don't have one condition that they all die. And Mark was like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. Oh man, guys, if you have not watched this episode, me talking about doesn't know justice. It is such a good fucking episode. It's so fucking good. Listen, guys, just fucking watch it, alright? I'm just gonna shut up now. So many good themes in this fucking story. So many fucking great. That fucking action scene. Oh, for that alone, you guys need to watch it. It's so fucking good. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. I don't even know who the fuck said. You know what? Smack that like button like it was Frank knocking the shit out of Orange, man. Because that bitch fucking deserved it, man. Smack that like button like it was that. You know, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. I'll leave everything down in the description down below. Like I said, guys, thank you for the love and support on this series. I'm fucking loving this show, and I'm gonna keep going for the entire episodes. It's just so fucking good, man. All right, I'm out. Deuces, and don't mind the squeakiness. I know this fucking chair is mad squeaky and shit, so my bad about that, because I keep moving. Deuces.